Good morning, everyone. I'd like to call to order the open meeting for Thursday, May 9th, 2023, and ask the Commission Secretary for information on today's agenda.
Each commissioner has independently reviewed the minutes of the open meeting of Thursday, March 2nd, 2023, and each has informed me there is no need to discuss the minutes.
I move that we approve the minutes from the open meeting of Thursday, March 2, 2023.
I will second. All in favor?
Aye.
Those abstaining? Okay. All right.
Each commissioner has independently reviewed the agenda, and each has informed me there is no need to discuss the notices associated with agenda items 2 through 7, or the suggested minute associated with agenda item 8 in docket 3270 TE 115, conditionally approving the applicant's alternative metering and testing accuracy standards as proposed, and requiring that the applicant notify the commission within 60 days of finalization of the NIST standard, and to explain any differences between the final standard and the applicant's current accuracy and testing standards, and demonstrating how it will incorporate the final NIST accuracy and testing standards into the apartment and workplace pilot, including providing updated program tariff provisions for approval, which is delegated to the DECIA administrator.
I move that we approve the notices of investigation associated with agenda items 2 through 4.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I move that we approve the notices of proceeding associated with agenda items 5 through 7.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I got to read this whole thing again.
Or you can just say as read by the secretary.
Oh, that would be better. In docket 3270 TE 115, I move that we conditionally approve MG&E's request as read by the secretary.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. That takes us to agenda item 9, which is docket 5-BF-2022. So this is a petition from Spectrum and Charter for a limited reopening and reconsideration of our final decision. And just as a sort of brief overview, Charter Spectrum had submitted a number of applications in our broadband expansion grant round in 2022. Specifically, they applied for an expansion grant to build past 510 locations. And the total grant was just over $1 million. And they pledged to provide $1.7 million in matching funds to the project. And then there was going to be some matches from the local municipalities. So together, that project proposed a total construction cost of $2.9 million. Through the course of objections that we have in all of our broadband expansion grant programs, we received 2 objections to their project due to overlap. And for those who know and who have observed our deliberations when it comes to the broadband expansion grant program, we take those objections into consideration, and we allow for responses to those objections to occur. So in response, Charter then proposed to remove locations that were going to be overlapping with other projects. And by way of removing some of those locations, it had the effect of reducing their grant request to $812,650. So we discussed that at our open meeting, and it was part of the deliberation that they had agreed to revise their project in order to avoid the overlap. While we didn't because our chief legal tells us not to do math at the table, we didn't bring out our calculators and provide a revised matching dollar amount or a percentage. But certainly the percentage of match that was included was a part of the evaluation of the underlying project, and that level of match then, at least in my mind, carried through when we started talking about the revised amount. So in the final order, when we awarded the grant, we had two conditions. The first condition was that Spectrum would contribute $1.2 million in matching funds, and that the project would build past at least 127 homes. So those were the two conditions. And in response, Charter proposed to then reduce its match to $372,500, which included $30,000 in matching funds. So originally, and for me, it helped to look at the percentage of match. In the original application, Charter was going to match 62.75% of the total project. Then they went and revised it, and that match went from 62% to 59%. That's how we calculated it. They came back and they asked that they be allowed to provide a match of just 31.43%. So really, it flips it from what we originally decided. So we had originally allowed for a state grant in the amount of 37%. They were going to pick up 62%. And now they've asked us to have the grant represent 68%, and they will contribute 31%. So my understanding is the way that this has gone, and there were comments filed in their petition to reopen. My understanding is that we did offer the revised program budget amount that would have maintained that same percentage as was in the original application. And I'm not going to confuse the minutes by throwing out those numbers.
No math.
But suffice it to say that we had originally, when we went back, we said, okay, let's keep the same amount. We'll keep the same ratio of award to match. And that was deemed unacceptable by Charter. And so we have this pending request to reopen in front of us. It would have been deemed denied by operation of law on March 10th. And I was inclined to allow that to happen. I wasn't going to take any action, which is alternative 3 in our memo, because of the fact that for me, when I made the decision, my decision was based on the ratio of award to match. And this completely flips that on its head. So I'm at alternative 3. I would take no action and allow this petition to be denied by operation of law. Commissioner Huebner?
Great, thank you. Yeah, I'll join you there. I was fine with either alternative 2, which would be denying it, or taking no action, and for the same reasons as you. And I'll just add on that the revised grant now is only going to have, the grant area is going to serve 127 locations, but only one unserved location. So it was the case that some of the grants that were approved had lower match like this, but those were ones where we were seeing high levels of unserved. That's going to take, it may take more state dollars to get that. In this case, I just don't think that it's appropriate to change that ratio in this way. So I'll join you at alternative 3.
Okay. Commissioner Strand?
I agree with the comments that both of you have made regarding alternative 3. One other item that gave me comfort is that this money doesn't go away. If we deny it, it goes back into the program and is available for other grantees. So I can join you at alternative 3. Thank you.
Okay. All right, then in docket 5 BF 2022, I move, well, we're doing nothing.
Yeah.
We're taking no action, never mind.
Yep. All right. So, that's the end of our items for the open meeting this morning. We are now going to recess our open meeting to go into closed session.
I move that we go into closed session pursuant to Wisconsin Statute 19.85 sub 1 sub G to discuss with legal counsel FERC docket AD 228000, transmission planning and cost management.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, we're now in closed session. Okay, we've reconvened in open session, and while in closed session, we authorized our legal counsel in conjunction with our ORM staff to provide Wisconsin-specific comments in the docket noted on the agenda.
With that, I move that the commission file our Wisconsin-specific comments in docket AD 22-8000, consistent with our discussion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, that concludes our official business for today. The next open meeting is scheduled for Thursday, March 16th, 2023 at 10:30 a.m. And before we adjourn, I'd like to just welcome Commissioner Strand. You made it through your first meeting, and you got to talk about MISO, which is a big first.
Two spots on the bingo card.
So
Exactly.
welcome.
Great. Yes, welcome, Commissioner Stand. We're happy to have you. I move that we adjourn the open meeting until Thursday, March 16th.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.